Welcome back to episode 4.
My lucky number.
Hey,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So again, I know they can't cancel us on 4, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Not allowed.
I'm sorry.
It's just 4. So we're kind of going to be talking about today what to bring to a smoke sesh. It's a very subjective thing, you know.
At best, yes.
Yeah, it's very different person to person, but we're just going to show you kind of what we would take to a smoke sesh, you know, what we view as necessities, and share a few funny stories, you know.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I do need to smoke at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to need to do that too. So, yeah, I think we're going to smoke maybe some super silver and lemon skunk today.
Yeah.
Because my tummy's kind of been bothering me. She's just been a little iffy the past few days, you know. And those two are like the cure-all strains.
Yeah, I think so. Well, and frankly, Super Silver Haze, probably my favorite strain of all time.
It's the best.
You know, and when I
Super
got
Silver
that
is the
nickname,
best
I really
sativa.
did think it was because of the flower. Hey, there's Super Silver Steven. No, it was my face, my gray hair. I had no
What?
What? It is actually my favorite flower. So,
Oh, featuring smoke sesh bags, by the way. This is my bag that goes everywhere with me, so I naturally have my weed in it. So yeah, here's our lemon skunk.
lemon
Our
skunk.
little super silver haze that we're gonna be smoking.
Now that Super Silver, it's from Method Farms. They're Central Oklahoma grower, and I would honestly venture to say that Mason and I have probably smoked just about every grow that they've had of Super Silver.
Everyone we could get our hands on.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I'm not so sure that this really hasn't been my favorite of all of them. Sorry. It's just incredibly uplifting, you know.
It is.
But I've never had it make me anxious. And that is one thing that I'm really grateful for. Probably 80-20, uplifting, happy, long-lasting, pretty fast-acting. Go
Just
right
so
ahead.
everyone knows, this is my incredible.
You have to tell them about this gummy at some point.
Incredibly elaborate stash box, okay? As you'll see throughout this whole thing, you've probably already been able to tell just with my, like, absolute insane amount of bare necessities that I had, the, like, 27 million of them. I just do everything to the max, okay? You'll see that with my bag today. You'll see it with my stash box. I just want to be prepared for any scenario, you know? Like, I just don't want any emergencies to come up that I'm not prepared for. And you'll also have to forgive me because this stash box is it's tin, so it's quite loud. Yeah, I'm gonna grind up the flour and
I'm going to tell you,
real quick.
when she's going through this, the first time I saw this box, she didn't try to shame me. I just felt shamed because there was things in there that I didn't have that I realized I needed. So
It's like there's a system to everything. There's a specific way things need to be set up for it all to fit. Like, I've got my tweezers.
that was
my
one of them
tweezers-
right there. Yep. I think we
tweezers
talked about that.
And $1 bill. Put those in your stash box and in your go bag wherever you're going to be packing your joints. Tweezers and $1 bill.
Okay. Now, I'm just a little bit older than you are. So in my day, people would take money with them and put it in their box for other reasons. So,
Right. So let me explain real quick.
It's not a Benji, therefore it's not 100.
So this is look at how atrocious this is. This is just literally covered in keef.
My fingers
like
stick to the face of
sticky.
Washington's face.
But I am not very good at rolling joints, as we've established.
Yeah.
But my brother taught me how to roll a joint in $1 bill. So I'm not going to teach you how to do that because I'm not very good at it. You can look it up. Do it for yourself. But it's also really good to, like, scrape your little weed together,
It is.
know, for
Yeah.
your little joint. That one's
Lemon
sticky.
skunk, right? Is that what you said the other one was?
Yep.
This is kind of a lifesaver for us, isn't it? As far as our stomach goes. So
Yeah, to say the least.
yeah, that limonene is one to look for. And as you kind of start looking, you go to the dispensary. Most of them, at least ours does, that we when the labels print out, it's got every terp on there and it's listed in percentage. So even if it doesn't have lemon in the name, you see limonene, it's likely to help your tummy.
Very likely. Oh my God, this one just breaks down so nice.
It was like pulling kind of bread off of that soft dough. It was really nice. We got a new gummy in at the store, and they're fabulous. And what they've done is I think we talked about Abstract before, and we talked about how they use certain ingredients from the plant to achieve what they're hoping for, whether it's sleep or calm or chill, whatever. And they're good at it. And we've just seen some other ones, and a new company we're going to show you here in a sec has done that as well. And one of them I had never heard of is CBC, and found that by itself it doesn't really do much. But one of those entourage, as it hits the cannabinoid system, it helps the others with some uplift, but some real inflammation control and some pain control, and they work.
This is my first time trying them today, so we're getting to see like my first experience with them on camera. Because we just got them in yesterday.
Yep.
But yeah, the CBC, Steven said it's really been helping his shoulders a lot, and I have been having really, really bad back and like hip pain because my sciatic nerve has been incredibly pinched up the past couple of days.
I'm not laughing at her. It's just I really refrained last night when she started looking crippled behind the shelf.
It just goes back to the whole 90-year-old and a 22-year-old's body thing.
Still one of the best lines in the world, I guarantee you.
This is just a side tangent, but it's so funny because sometimes we'll have patients come in the store that are older, and I can tell by the look on their face that they don't want to trust me. Like, they don't want to believe what I'm saying. They're like, you haven't been doing this long enough. I can't. But then I start telling them that I deal with sciatica. Like, then they're like, oh, you are an elderly person.
Yeah, you're elderly. But I will be honest now, when you talk about your stomach, though, people stop and listen. And because you have found some... And there's probably the reason why. Because she's had very positive results with some of that flour, and that lemon skunk's one of them.
It's one of my big ones.
Our friend Will, right?
Or
Elite. Right. Yeah. Great flour. I'll be honest with you. I've had a fabulous day. I really have. We were super busy this morning. Got in a lot of incredible flour.
Any ones we should be looking out for?
Yes, Ruby Slipper. You guys, if you see it, I had been told a long time ago to look for any of the slippers like Glass Slipper, but this Ruby Slipper is a great sativa. That should have that in. But what I found is that over the last, 2-3 days, I have put a lot of energy out. And this is exactly what this is for. It's the flower, the super silver haze, and the lemon skunk. It's exactly what you need. It's uplifting and happy, and not that I ever have trouble being uplifted or happy too often, but it will kick it up if you do.
Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of... I just did exactly what you had done.
She knocked flour out of the top. What we're going to try to do is because she's now executive editor, is we'll see if we can't get a slow-mo of the flour slowly flying out of it.
He's expecting a lot of me. Yeah, I have been in a pretty good mood today, but it's just kind of been one of those days where, like, every once in a while, my energy will just fall a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the motivation, I can feel it, like, evaporating from my body slowly. But this is exactly why I picked this flower combo, aside from it helping my tummy, which has been iffy.
Yeah.
It'll really help to get me up and going. It always does. And I guess we should address the fact that we're mixing strains.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think about this being a thing, but until we talk to, like, a patient or a friend, and we tell them, yeah, mix these strains together, and they're like, what? Why would I do that?
Oh, yeah. You
should be mixing your strains. Some of them won't go together, but some of them will.
Well, yeah, and some of them will surprise you. I mean, honestly, if there's a late-night text from Mason, 80% of the time, she's telling me she may have found gold and tried
and it's
this
usually
combination.
A flower combination.
Right. Yeah. This one makes sense though. Both uplifting sativas, but a different feel and really different purposes. So that's a good mixture.
All right. So the joint has been rolled up. We have our ashtray. Now we just need a lighter, which we both brought 2 of today for very good reasons. I've got my 2 pink ones in here.
Those are incredibly good. I just had to bring this one because I realized that I'd stolen it from one of our biggest fans, Hannah, and it was made for her by one of our big fans, Casey. So, Hannah, thank you so much. We appreciate the lighter today, and I'll return it at some point, probably when it's out of butane.
Oh my God! I almost forgot to grab the glass tip.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoops.
Whoa.
We'd have had to re-edit the whole thing. I mean, we just refilm it, actually.
Do we want the long one or the regular one that we use?
Oh, that's dealer's choice there. No clue.
This one's dirtier.
Oh, I use that. That means it was more popular.
Yeah, right?
That's
what.
Now,
that's what she said.
yeah. Thank you, Shelby. This is
Speaking of
ZigZag
deodorant.
cones, and usually that's what I carry. And we'll talk about
They
it a
do
little bit
great.
today. But those are lighter. You can taste the flower.
I like the cool guy on the label with the beard and
Yep.
the beanie. He looks
Yep.
like a hipster.
That guy was literally in every head shop in the 70s. That one ZigZag, and that's what everybody had hanging in their dorm rooms. Was that?
I love it.
They're going, hey, how the hell old is that dude? I don't know. Yeah,
Ageless.
ageless. God, that was awesome.
He's a vampire.
No, I'm not jonesing for flour. I know that's what it looks like. I'm just looking at her like the dogs. Are you going to feed me at some point? Or what?
Oh, that was a bigger hit than I thought it was going to be.
Little glass tip hit there.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and it hits harder than you think, which is the other part of that statement. So, but they do every time. It's kind of like hitting out a glass. So
Yeah.
it's a different taste, that's for sure. When you put that lemon skunk, which is, by the way, pretty skunky. If you haven't smelled it, you need to. It gives it a whole different taste.
Super Silver and Lemon Skunk is a little bit terpy. They're both very intense smokes, I would say, as far as the taste and like hit goes. So it just really doubles down when you mix them together.
And it does hit harder. I'm sorry, that does hit harder with that tip.
It does.
You know, I don't hit glass very often. And you would think after what? The 40th, 50th time I've sat down with you, I would remember, I don't hit glass very often. Nope, I don't remember. And it's like 6
It
lungfuls.
happens every time.
Every time. I got no memory left.
He took the biggest hit I've possibly ever seen in my life earlier, just out of my regular size bong, because he forgot how it works.
I
No,
forgot
that sounded very shady. Did not mean it to be.
how it works.
Oh, it went out.
Good
How did
time
that
to
happen?
Good time to break out a lighter.
Yeah. There's the pickle one with the cool hat.
We got some other ones too, though.
Here's just the first sneak peek at what you should have in every smoke sesh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do a few sneak peeks.
Multiple lighters.
Yeah.
They don't have to be the same color.
Oh,
Or different styles.
But it's cool.
But multiple lighters, because here's the thing. You never know when a lighter's going to stop working. You never know when
Correct.
somebody's going to snatch your lighter and take it home, because I actually just returned to him a lighter that I had stolen from him yesterday.
Yes, she did.
You never know. So just bring multiple lighters. Be considerate of yourself and your smoke sesh pals. That's all I got to say.
I just, honestly, I did not lead in with Hannah's lighter for that, but that's a great point. And that's why I always bring two. I've got mine and the one that your mom gave us, because
And that's not a joke. My mom did give us lighters.
No, she really did. But they're, I'm getting way ahead of myself. But it's cool because it makes it so safer to use glass. Now, we didn't mention anything about the gummy that I took.
No. What did you take? I cannot remember.
Well, it's the same company, Wyld.
Wyld.
WYLD, correct?
Yeah.
Their flavors are all natural. We all joke with patients because they say the same thing. Flavor usually doesn't matter because you just swallow it and you're all good. But there are a few out there, for the love, that they're so bad that if you don't tell somebody, look, it really will, put you to sleep or whatever.
They probably will never come back. They'll give you a 0-star review on Yelp.
That old guy looked like he was at Walmart. He told me these were great.
He clearly didn't know what he was talking about. Somebody get the old guy out of the business.
Clearly had never tasted it. She goes, I threw him up twice. No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Okay, that right there, when I funny,
I'm
think
good on that.
All right, so, yeah, when I start thinking I'm funnier than I am, and that's way scary right there. I think, before we even do it,
what is it with yours that does that?
If I hear anything about the old man, it was his microphone, I can't. No, please send those. That's actually pretty funny.
Send all the
I guess we
jokes.
ought to give him credit because
Yeah.
So these are the ones that she took out. I love
the cutest
this.
packaging in the world.
It is great.
And the box feels good.
Blood orange gummies. They're 1-to-1 THC CBD.
CBC.
Excuse me, CBG. Yes, that's the big point. I almost missed the whole point. Thank you, Flower.
Wait, which one is it?
This is your CBC.
Okay. They've got
Sorry.
CBN, CBD, CBG, and CBC. They've got all the CBs.
Yeah, and yes, and that's the one we were talking about earlier. This has a sativa enhancement. I don't know, but I'm going to testify to it because here is their straight THC. It is the distillate. 50 milligrams each, package of 1,000. So I love the dosing. It is very uplifting, but not in an intrusive way, and not really like focused or intrusive.
It's our word of the day.
It's our word of the day, and really, thank you, Shelby.
It's like an unintentional thing that happens between us. We just get fixated on a word every day, and you just...
Well, that's what I did.
It's intrusive.
It was, but this wasn't. Thank goodness. I wasn't feeling too up, and not really over focused, but just happy. So they
Nice.
work. We've already started talking about it a little bit. We never can help ourselves, but I got to ask you about the sign because
What?
the
Oh.
sign is just great.
I just couldn't come up with anything better. I don't want to be boring on this podcast. We're not here to be boring. That is,
Lord, I hope not.
like, that is the number one sin of podcasts, is that
In my opinion,
so
yes.
many of them are boring. And you know what? It's
Really?
okay to have your moments, but no.
No.
And I'm an appreciator of the Fresh Prince Bel-Air, and
Good.
what better pun?
And when she sent it to me and she said, "What do you think?" and she had another option that it was just
It was
unpronounceable.
just like a tongue twister.
It was unpronounceable for me. So, but what I thought of instantly was it made a lot of sense to me because if you look at like Okie America, right in the middle of the country, we
We're in
smoke
Bel-Air.
like Bel-Air. Yeah, I feel like Bel-Air. And
With
I'm going
our
to tell you something.
prices, we get to. Yeah.
I'd rather pay our prices for any single product we got ever. Flour, gummies up. But it's the perfect name. I just absolutely like it.
Well, thank you. It was
Just
it came after a lot of deliberation, but and also once you listen to us,
it kind of makes
as
sense.
you should,
Yeah,
you
you
will be the Sesh Prince of wherever you're at, or princess.
Which usually happens if you get us like 10 more subscribers a week each. That really helps.
At
So we
least.
appreciate that.
That's the least you could do.
Her bag, though, I've always kind of had a little bit of, I'm so sorry, a little bit of bag envy going on here.
I think my aunt got this for me.
I love it, though. It's
actually
cooler.
a Vera Bradley bag. You would never guess that because it doesn't have paisley on it. But
No,
it's a Vera Bradley bag, and I've had this thing since high school. And I've used it like every single day since high school pretty much. And I take it everywhere, and it's still holding up very nicely.
Those are
Not to
the
brag
best.
on
And
on the quality, but
no,
I
learned
love our
about.
matching bags.
Well, they're both black, and the funny thing is,
they both have
of
a
our
million
cups are the
pockets.
same color, and this was not intentional.
Yeah, where's your cup?
Oh yeah,
That could be our decoration for the table.
it could be. See, we do kind of on the run all the time. We are, and we'll get someplace, and it's generally a good time to smoke, and we got to have the right stuff. It's kind of like a podcast. You can't just show up and not do the job.
Right.
And to do that, we kind of decided to share what we always have in our backpacks, which is our always carry. And some of it just makes sense, and some of it, by golly, is just being polite.
Exactly.
You know, a little etiquette, I think, is what it is.
Why don't you start for us today,
think I'm going to do
Steven?
that. Now,
Tell me about your little smoke sesh essentials. What are you going to be taking if you're going for a smoke sesh?
Okay, so for me, you don't really know exactly who's going to be around. So I always like to have just a tray that fits in my, I love it. A patient actually gave this to me when I was in Sepulpa and bought it, and I just love it. Thinking
it's a really cool tray.
And it's
big.
And it fits in, so that's always good. A lot of times folks may have a grinder, but they're usually cheap.
Yeah.
So if you just always have a decent, good grinder with you, and most of the time with mine, if we're lucky, because I forget about it, there's like a whole bunch of keef in that thing too. So that's always good. And what just happened to us here, we were about ready to start shooting the episode, and she goes, "Have you got a cone?" And I thought, well, it's funny you say that, because that was one of the things I always bring. These are ZigZag we used on the show today, but these are little packs of 6, and you always just carry them. And
little go packs.
And they compare, and they're great. So for me, that kind of stuff is always a start. You got to have that, because if you don't, you're not probably going to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did the exact opposite in the grinder situation. So I always have my not pot bag, or just like a big makeup bag, pretty much. I should invest in one of those smell-proof ones like you have, because my cousin was holding my backpack the other day and said, "Ooh, this smells like marijuana."
Oh.
And I said, well, because there's some in there, and I take it to work every day. So clearly this is not smell-proof, but I've always got my basic, grab-and-go things in there, and I went for my absolute, cheapest grinder to throw in here, because the one that I usually would have in here, honestly, was just really gunked up, and I didn't want to clean it.
Well,
yeah.
Part of my problem is that I carry it everywhere. So
yeah.
I am around a lot of folks that don't smoke, and chillums, pipes, anything. My bag was just smell-proof. It's lined with, I think, carbon fiber, that sort of thing. I got it on Amazon for $25. Mm-hmm. But even at that, after a couple of years, got to replace it. It's just like anything else on those filters. It's about time for that. But
I don't have a tray with me, to be honest. I don't know why, but I just don't keep one in there.
Actually, I hate to tell you, that's a lot of times for me.
Really?
Because if I'm out at the lake at night shooting moon pictures or something, me and my memory, I'm not going to remember to pack a cone. So there you go, right there.
Fair. Yeah. Typically, I feel like when I'm going somewhere else to smoke, other than my house, I try to have cones on me. I don't today just because I'm out, but I try to have a pack of Lazy Susans or something like that, so that I can pack up a cone quickly. But along with that, you've got to have flour. So I've always got a little bit of flour in there.
Pardon me. You probably had those type of strains, so didn't you today? Like Super Silver?
Yeah, today I have Lemon Skunk. I've got quite a few today just because I stocked up yesterday or whenever on flour. Super Silver, a couple others. I like Diesel Smalls. I still haven't tried those. I need to.
Oh, you know what?
It smells amazing.
It is a small buds, folks. And sometimes, people will talk down all shake. I can understand on most of them why, but small buds, I'm telling you, these tested out at 30 and smell better than most of the big buds I've smelled in Lilac Diesel lately. So that's a good flower and a good one to carry.
Yeah.
Now, either it's just I'm a fabulous bud tender, or I just know her.
He is.
So I figured, okay, those are the kind of strains she's going to be bringing. So I need to bring something different.
Right.
A little polite, whatever. Or sometimes if you want to bring a strain that's just better than everybody else's, that's always
sometimes
kind of
you
fun.
just gotta flex on the group whenever you're going to a smoke sesh. You gotta show up with good stuff.
Well, and especially now, I mean, bud tenders, you
People's
better show
standards
up.
are high.
Right. If you're bud tender, you better show up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have enough huevos to actually do a podcast, you better really show up with it. So the other one was Purple Ice Water. fantastic indica, which is on the other end of the spectrum, what I thought she'd be carrying. So next leaf, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
And
Now,
that's honestly one of my suggestions too, if you're going for a smoke sesh. Especially if it's with a bigger group of people and if you don't know them as well, to take, if you can, like a couple different kinds or pre-rolls. Like add in a pre-roll or two, a couple different kinds, as well as your flower or whatever you're smoking on. So there is variety.
I like that.
So like if there's multiple people, maybe some of them don't like sativas. Maybe some of them don't like indicas. You could have a hybrid or whatever.
Yeah,
you don't have to
I
cater
like
to
that.
everybody, but have a couple of options so that, there is more room for fun. Plus, if you're there for a long time, you're going to be smoking a lot.
I'm just sitting here laughing because this is actually why we're pretty good together, because that gap right there is one that I usually feel. I'm kind of known for having 6-7 pre-rolls in my pocket.
Yeah.
She brings it up, breaks out, by the way, some really good pre-rolls. And I started looking around and I go, dang, I don't even have one. I mean, there's something wrong with that, but that's a great call. Not to be presumptuous, but if you're going to bring something, a pre-roll can be bad. I mean, we talked about it. Flower inside there, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's nice to pack your own. There's some really good infused ones. And, down the road we'll talk about that. But that sometimes, too, is impressive. Just don't have one that lights up like a torch. Don't do that. That's never impressive.
Never.
This is probably me because, again, thank goodness she doesn't have a lot of people that would be offended if she smelled like weed. And I do want to take that into consideration. So it never, during the day, I always smell like weed. But
Yeah.
I always will have a vape card in here too.
That's one of mine too.
See, I mean, sometimes it's
Always-
just respectful.
Yeah, always keeping a vape, whether you're on the go or for a sesh.
Oh,
I
my.
do always like to have, this is one of the Dose disposable 1 gram vapes, but I think I've got my YoCan, my Wulf one that's looks like it's blood splattered.
That which is very cool. Limited edition, and she snatched it up too.
Yeah, it's a good option for if you're like going out to a park, like on a walk, and you don't want to be stinking up the place. Or if you just want something that you're going to get an effect quickly and not have to smoke a lot.
That battery is not intrusive to the public either.
Not intrusive
so
to the public.
No,
It'll fit in your tiny little
not
pocket.
a big old cart sitting out of the top.
Yeah.
Well, now this is old school. I think we may have talked about this as an essential that first episode, but I always have pipe cleaners. I mean, I just do, because how many times do you get somewhere? I meant to clean my chillum. I meant to clean my pipe. It didn't.
Yeah.
Or they get there and they didn't. So it just makes it. Well, sorry. It just makes it a little easier.
On the whole note of like smell and
yeah.
things like that.
Okay. Now,
Always
I'm gonna
deodorant
sorry.
in my sesh bag. Now, yes, I will take this entire like 20-pound bag to a smoke sesh because I take it everywhere. It's got everything I could possibly need.
I give you my word. I promise you I didn't know that. Ladies and gentlemen, inside mine is the same thing. I mean,
Spray deodorant crew. Let's spray our deodorants at the same time, and that can be the thumbnail of the video.
okay, that could be the sound. But
Wait, let's smile while we're doing it.
no.
Mine wouldn't come out.
Okay, so here's a problem. There's a fan that just shot it back right in our face, which reminds me one time. One time Shelby did that in the dispensary, and I didn't know it.
Yours
I turned.
smells good.
Yeah, it does.
Mine is just
Hey,
like,
this is extra
scentless.
fresh. Well, her shot right in my mouth. And it was a surprise. My mouth
I am
I had
tasting
great
a little
breath.
perfumey right now.
That's pretty perfumey. But hey, we got the same stuff in our bag. Okay.
It doesn't have to be spray deodorant, but it will freshen up the space a little bit.
I guess it's better than Lysol in there. That's pretty
Yeah.
nasty. But okay, so I cough. I cough a lot, and it's just embarrassing to do that. So I have almost always wintergreen mints of some sort, Lifesavers
Yeah.
or something. Very old school, but I'm sorry about the microphones. I always have a bag of me. All right.
No, genuinely, this was not planned.
Yeah, I guarantee you, it really wasn't.
I went and pulled the whole bag out of my bathroom just now, like my bathroom cabinet.
What happened? Mine's
Normally
in
there's
there.
just like a handful tossed. Like I always have them in my purse.
But for the love, it's the same brand.
It's the
and
exact
it's the
same brand. The value size. The value size.
Well, we save our money for weed. I actually do that because we talk so much during the day, you start losing it. But
You really do,
that's
especially
really
if
funny.
you don't have time to like drink a lot. No, cough drops really are a smoke sesh necessity because
Really?
everyone's gonna need one, and you're gonna
Yeah.
be like the sweetheart of the group if you bring the Hall's like flavor twist ones or whatever. That's actually what the name of the Fritos are. The honey
is?
barbecue ones, the
So
twisty
you brought
ones.
barbecue lifesaver. I mean, cough drops. Cool,
I'm talking about the strawberries and cream ones. You know, the ones that are basically candy.
but they're medicated.
Yeah, everybody's going to love you if you do that, but these are actually going to cure your cough. No shade to strawberries and cream.
If you ever wonder, we're not related. We're just absolutely not. We both seem to think it was a great idea to spray that right into the fan.
Okay, and kind of on the... This is embarrassing. I shouldn't have pulled that out so quickly.
I didn't know that was coming out, but it's a damn good idea.
On the note of like hard candies and things, yes, I am, again, a 90-year-old woman.
She's
I have an
22 years old.
I have a cloudy, used Ziploc bag, great value, with butterscotch candies, Werther's Originals.
Did you catch that? We may need a replay on that. The
Okay.
editor's going to kill me after this one. Her.
That was my rewind noise.
Okay, did you see that?
Butterscotch candies. Ew, there's a hair.
Exactly like in my great grandmother's when she was alive. It was butterscotch, and yes, there was hair on it. she is passed, or I wouldn't have said that.
Werther's Originals.
Which I'm sure were in there, but she probably picked them out because they're
There's
good.
also melted peppermint things, the green ones, though.
I'm sure that they
Some
still function.
old Christmas chocolates. And then I also have my to-go version of that, which is a little sequin heart bag that changes colors. And
I don't have one of those.
it's got Werther's Originals in it.
And which is really fairly. No, I don't want to use the word old fashioned, but it's old school. It's a good long term product. I've been around hundreds of years.
I just love. I'm not huge
I
on
made that
like
up.
other candies, but I love a grandma candy, and that's just how it is. I've always been this way. I've been carrying these types of bags since high school.
We couldn't just carry weed around when I was in high school.
No, not weed. This kind of bag.
I know.
My candy bag.
Now, I'll tell you one more, then I'm not going to quit the whole age thing, but when I first started smoking, yes, they did. It all came in plastic bags.
Yeah.
But it was before there was even Ziplocs. And so it had a little flap on it, and you would lick it. I'm not making this up. And you would roll it up, and the lick part would stick to it, and you'd get 3 fingers of weed. And it was pre-Ziploc. That's horrifying. And if you cannot edit that. I hope you can edit that out. But yeah, that's really true. So no, I think that's very cool, and it's cool. I'm going to invite you over because you have candy in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes. I mean, well, you're cool to hang with. So
Well,
yeah.
that too. I appreciate
bring
that.
a guard dog with you too.
Yeah, she's the coolest.
I think so too.
I also have a bag of cashews in here for protein. Because here's the thing. All jokes aside with like the candies and stuff, it is good to have a little snack on you, especially one with protein in it and like that has at least a little bit of nutritional value.
Yeah.
Because you might get the munchies. Yeah, it's good to have a snack on you for yourself
by the
and
way,
for other people.
If you saw that, if there's like a close up, I'm not sure, but camera 2, there was black specks on that.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're supposed to be there actually.
They're everything bagel season cashews.
They're freaking
from
great, too.
Sam's.
Oh, okay.
I don't I don't
plug them. Yeah, hell yeah.
My God,
Yeah, they're great.
So good. I think I actually have 2 bags of them in here. 'Cause I didn't realize I had 2, but I discovered it today when I was.
and great thing they don't age. Well, 3, 4. Well, 2.
I should probably put some of those maybe in my stomach. Or
You're definitely gonna come over.
yeah.
Well, I think you're very. But you thought of other people. We brought stuff in case they didn't have it. I brought weed in case they don't have a strain that I want to smoke.
Right.
You know, honestly, and we covered all the bases.
You got to cater to your own needs and be considerate of others. Like, you don't want to be the selfish person in the sesh that doesn't bring anything
and just
expects people to, you know, give you all their weed for free. I love to share flower.
Yeah.
Like, we love to share flower.
Yeah.
That's just what we do. But it's also, there's a limit to that. You know, you don't want to be the one person in the group that has not brought anything to offer. Unless it's already been established, like, hey, I can't right now. Like, is everybody okay with that?
We all do
communicate.
That.
Communication
right, let
is
them
key.
know I'm weed poor right now, folks, and I'm poor too.
And people
so,
will understand that. Like,
but we do still have sharing.
Just be honest.
But it's nice to bring it.
It is. It's
and
nice to be
if you just can't pull it off, a good pre-roll, that's not bad either. Mm-hmm. So, but I think we actually, if we would have had to just go over and they didn't have anything, I think we could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
You know, I think so too.
And honestly, something that I like to have too when I go to hang out with people, especially if we're going to be like there for a long period of time or if I'm staying the night, I like to have an edible on me, like a really, really good edible. Whether or not I'm sharing, like, that doesn't necessarily matter. I always offer, but Buffalo Roze 1,000 milligram chocolate bar. It's dark chocolate sea salt, but the chocolate tastes so good. You can't taste any bitterness. There's really not, to me, any noticeable, like, as we said a couple episodes ago, the umami, the like weedy taste.
Yeah.
There's not really any of that, and it's nano-infused, so it's fast acting.
And I'm
this
gonna
is just a
testify
plug
to
for
that.
these chocolate bars.
Yeah, but I will testify to that. It did. And
they're
look
wrapped
at this.
in gold packaging, like a Willy Wonka.
Yeah, freaking golden ticket right here. That is probably one of the best looking products I've ever seen ever.
The packaging is so sleek.
But it's the best chocolate I ever had. And I was heartbroken this past weekend when I watched one of my buddies sell our last 3 because I owed you a square of that because it was good. So
yeah,
that's a good one to take along too. I mean, and you may need it. You may not want to share that, but you may need it.
Yeah.
Only problem is that I haven't met anybody quite dumb enough yet to say, hey, why don't you hang out for a long time or overnight? Now that one, I don't see that happen at all. They're going, you know, I'm not sure that old guy may just fall asleep out on our patio and just sleep there. I don't know.
Make him sleep in a tent and a sleeping bag outside. Actually, no tent, just sleep in the hammock.
No.
Alrighty. I don't know where we left off, but we both had to take a potty break. And we decided that we're going to, you know, grind up a little bit more, smoke out of my bong. I really only have like a couple more things to touch on for what I take in my smoke bag. I do have a million other things in here, but that's just because this is my everyday bag. But like I said at the beginning, a couple of different lighters. And this is the kind of lighter that he was kind of talking about in the beginning. One that I talked about in the first episode. This is just the pink one that Mandy got me. Thanks. But really my only other things to mention that I have talked about one of them before, the glass tip. This is my other one. It's just a longer version of the one that we're using. Yeah. A roach clip is always nice. If you don't have a glass tip, this is a good alternative. Because, you don't have to burn your fingies if you're trying to relight. This is a tiny little adorable one.
This is a little old school. This is the only other thing I got, and I forgot about it till you broke that out. But I've got a little bit of a medical background, and I really dug for this one. But I actually found some old hemostats, some old Roze.
So funny.
Yeah, clips. So
I actually have a pair of those that I have used for that exact purpose as well. They're just not in my bag.
and they fit right in there. So
Yes.
yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and get a Vera Bradley.
Yeah, you must.
I've got
Try
it
and
for
find the
Neva
black
and-
quilted one if you can.
Yeah, well, it gotta be the same so I can pick it up like I do your cup.
Yeah.
Sorry.
People probably think that we have a problem with all of our matching items.
We have no
and things.
problems that I know of.
We're just on the same wavelength.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get
we don't
with
have
it.
Body problems.
You're so sweet, little lady. She
Trying to
just
get
had
on
to
that
make
camera.
herself seen. It's probably just like this much of her head. Obviously, eye drops.
Ooh.
I don't even like these. The ones that I have specifically, they burn my eyes. I need to find better ones.
Well, that's because they're small and red. That's why. No, you're
My
right.
eyes,
and
not
I don't
the eye
care.
drops.
I don't care for that. I think I use those ones that are for the allergies because they don't burn quite as bad and they still get rid of the red.
Yeah, I need to find better ones, but eye drops, obviously. I mean, that seems like a given, but
I know.
even if you don't need to worry about not having red eyes, it's just nice to not have dry eyes.
When I feel like someone threw
It's an
sand in my
underrated
eyes,
feeling.
they come in great. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
well, I ground you up some purple ice water
Ooh.
that we talked about earlier from Next Leaf.
This flower's so pretty.
It's gorgeous. And you notice how fluffy it is? It was really nice to break down. Hey, it's got limonene's #1 on the list. So we were talking about that. If it's something that for us, for our stomach, it's great. It's a good thing to start looking at. And and we honestly, we believe in it so much, I guess we ought to start talking about the terps in the flowers and so on. Or when we get to concentrates, how important those are. We have some with our gummies, but yeah, it's pretty neat. But this is I'm going to say a 70-30 indica. It's a tight bud.
We're going right from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Oh yeah. Well, we
Whiplash.
see both of us had Sativa enhanced. We had Super Silver. We had
Very sativa flower.
Berry, and that grow was very happy.
Yeah.
And then of course
Not
the
over.
all-time lemon skunk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
an unknown one that we pre-gamed with. I did tell Mandy I thought it did make
My pants.
me using a chillum safer. I didn't start my mustache on fire, so
'Cause
or my
listen,
shirt.
Now we can actually demonstrate. I was just talking about it on the first episode. We didn't actually smoke out of the bong, I don't think. So I was just like demonstrating like a fool, but now you can
Like a
actually
fool.
see you won't be burning yourself.
See, I mean, and it's Bel-Air is what it is. I'm going to tell you.
Did you see that huge flame that came off of the bowl? I had just
No.
said you won't burn yourself, and then there's like a 7-inch flame that just came off the top of the bowl that would burn
Ball of
anything.
butane just come flying out of the end. No, I was just so proud of how you came up with the name for the episode, and at the very end, we were really uptown.
I know.
and it's
I feel so
pink.
fancy.
So what?
I can't talk. I feel so fancy. It matches my new laptop case.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I love it. And it matches my old lighter. It's so cute.
And the keyboard
I
is pink.
I love
cool.
pink.
I just wear a lot of different clothes, and to the dispensary the other day, it was chilly, so I got cleaned up, put on a sweatshirt, which happened to be pink. Not quite this bright, but it was pink. And somebody was really making fun of me. She was a little older than me, but she was going, pink? Why pink? I said, well, I want to wake people up. And she goes, so you chose pink. She just missed the point. This is the color, right?
Yeah. If I could have all of my clothes in this color, I don't know that I would, but it'd be a cool choice.
I'm thinking maybe if they've got questions about their stuff, or you guys might actually have better ideas on some stuff to carry, stuff you carry.
Yeah, because like we said in the beginning, it's very subjective. Every single person is going to have a way different smoke bag.
Yeah.
Ours are very elaborate. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. A cough really started coming to me.
I have some cough drops.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours are very elaborate, over the top.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We're both going to be the people that have almost anything you could possibly need on hand.
The only thing I thought of, and I saw it in the catalog yesterday, those deep sea diving ones I've had like for watches that you can't hurt them with a hammer. I saw someone carrying one of those one day around, carrying their glass.
Oh.
And I thought, boy, now that's pretty dang elaborate. I'm not doing that. But if you do, at the end of the episode, it'll have both our Instagram and our Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And so you can
need
reach
to get
us
more
there.
active on there. But.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What points though, if they really were going to pick, let's say 5 or 6, what do you think?
Okay. 5 or 6 big things that you should have in your smoke bag.
Deodorant. I'm sorry.
Deodorant. No, just kidding. That's probably one of the very optional ones. But just don't stink, okay? Flour or pre-rolls or both.
Boom.
If you do both, you're just going to have extra brownie points.
Yep.
A grinder. Snacks.
Yep.
Oh, also, I don't know how I forgot to mention this. I guess just because we always have our giant jugs of water
Oh, I know.
or drink, but have one or a couple different drinks on you because you don't just want to assume that the person you're going to hang out with has beverages because some people are psychos that don't keep like any beverages in their house.
Well,
so
and the
just
way
take
that
your
we
own.
consume.
And clearly we take enough for the whole sesh.
Yeah. So you need to bring your own. I always do that. That's a good point.
Hydration, I think that was number 4. And number 5 would probably be eye drops.
I'm going to throw
or cough
in,
drops.
Oh, cough drops.
I think that's more important.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to throw in the cones.
I just want too
because
many
I can't
things.
roll in any fashion. So the cones are always good, and always make sure I've got wood tips that we talked about.
Oh
I think on
yeah,
that first episode.
I forgot smoking apparatus.
The lighters are a must, and I'm big on the flour because I will tell you.
God dang it. As he's listing all of these things, I'm just realizing that these were all the things that I was trying to come up with that didn't come to my mind because clearly the purple ice water is doing its job.
Well,
lighter should have been number 1.
Well, but what
God bless.
No.
This is why we're both here.
And the great one I like, did you notice that there was one that we had not mentioned during the episode that snuck into the Sports Center top 5, which was beverage.
I know.
Look, we assumed you would know that,
yeah,
right?
We assumed, but
yeah, damn good idea.
Some people don't assume the same things I do.
Honestly, we really do. We appreciate you guys so much, and it's fun watching the numbers come up. And it was really neat yesterday having somebody come in and saying, I just saw the second episode, and they were pumped, and at least but tell us what we're doing good and bad.
Yeah,
or really
mostly
good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see us on social media. Talk to us on social media.
Please.
It has been very, very fun and makes it a lot more exciting to come and like sit down and record, to know that you guys are excited about it too. Like having people come in and say that they've been watching it or hounding us about when the next episode's going to come out because they're so excied. Like that's kind of fun. It's very encouraging because we're not lying. It has happened already. We're not just trying to say that it has. And, no, people are actually being nice, and we appreciate it very much.
We documented the paparazzi.
Yeah, we documented the paparazzi.
So you guys be safe. We'll see you next week.
See ya. Thanks for joining our time travel this week. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, you can reach us on Instagram and Twitter at SNJPodShow, email us at smokinandjokinpodshow@gmail.com, or watch our videos and exclusive content on YouTube and WeedTube at Smokin' and Jokin' Pod Show. As always, details on featured products and links to our social media will be in the description. Everyone stay cool, stay medicated, and we'll see you next week on Smokin' and Jokin'.
Welcome to LA, brother.
What if he liked it and flew in your mouth?